Good morning and welcome to Unlimited Realities with Lisa Zimmer. I'm Lisa and I'm thrilled to offer my two guests today for my show to offer to you. We have two wonderful researchers and wise teachers, and first we're going to talk with author and teacher Ernesto Ortez, who's the founder and director of Journey to the Heart, a company dedicated to uplifting consciousness and the well-being of people. He's an artist, an author, a facilitator, teacher, and therapist, and he's internationally certified as a healer, providing Akashic records and teacher training, as well as certification programs. And you can find out so much about him on his website, which we will get to, and we will talk about his latest work and book, which is called The Akashic Records by Ernesto Ortez. It's the sacred exploration of your soul's journey within the wisdom of the collective consciousness. And I'm very, very excited to talk about this because for 30 years I've been walking into metaphysical bookstores and I've been asking the bookstore owner or the manager, please take me to your books about the Akashic records. And some of them, their interest would be piqued and they would be excited because not many people have come in asking about that. So they go and they look and they spend all this time only to find out there's very little, if anything, had been written up until recently about Akashic records. So Ernesto, welcome to Unlimited Realities. Thank you so much for being my guest today, and thank you so much for writing the book, The Akashic Records. This has been so long overdue and such a chock-full work of research and information. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Lisa. It's an honor to be here with you and to share with your radio listeners. It's, like you said, it's a vast field of information that we all need to know about.
Yes. So let's dive in because, like I said, a lot of people may have heard about it, they may be intrigued about it, but it is still something that a lot of people don't know much about. So let's start with a very basic question. Can you tell the audience what Akashic records are?
Yes, definitely. The Akashic records, just to put it in simple terms, are your book of life. They are mentioned in every major religion from around the world, and they are the records of your soul's journey from the moment of the inception of your soul to this present moment. So what the Akashic records are is the history of your soul's evolution, past and present, and they also offer the possibility of the unfoldment of future events. The word Akasha is a Sanskrit word that means primary substance. So this is the field, this is the energy from where we are all originated. We took birth, our souls took birth in Akasha. I call the Akashic records, or Akasha, the Library of Congress of the soul. Imagine that you can walk into the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C., and there's I think it's 5 billion books available there. So imagine that you can walk into that library, the Library of Congress of your own soul, and have access not only to your book of life, to see what is the progress of your soul, the progression of your soul from past to the present, and be able to look at patterns, limitations, addictions, codependencies, all that sort of stuff that may be coming from this life as well as previous lives. But at the same time, being able to talk with the record keepers there, to the masters that become teachers, when you have a specific interest in anything that you can possibly think about, your life. So the Akashic records are not here as a religion. They're not here as anything to replace the belief system or the knowledge that people have acquired in the past or in the future, but they're coming to push everything to the next level of your own individual potential. So it's just really an amazing field.
It is an amazing field, and I absolutely love that you have tackled such a field because it is so vast, and there is, there's simplicity in its complexity, and I love how you have brought it with genius to create it in such a form that people can accept it so readily. And what I really appreciate, because I work in the field of intuition, I tap into the collective consciousness in my work, and this is very, very, very real and very personal to me. So it's very, very blessed that I have been able to have you on my show, because this has been really, really exciting for me. And I want to talk about, how did the Akashic Records, you have a prayer in your book, and it's absolutely earth-shattering but also resonating. So when you read it, my body just started to really feel the pulse of it. And I want to talk a little bit about the Akashic Records, and how did the Akashic Records prayer actually come to be known, and how can we utilize it?
Yeah, definitely. The Akashic Records prayer, the way that it is written in my book, it was given in Mexico in the 1960s to a man. His name was Johnny Proshenska. This was a Spanish man from Czechoslovakian descent, and he was chosen basically to receive this prayer. So the prayer was given originally in Mayan, and then it was translated to Spanish, English, French, and many other languages right now. The prayer itself is written in the language of spirit, the light language, sacred geometry. So every word that is in that prayer is encoded and is alive. So the key is not to change any words of that prayer, because you end up somewhere else and not in Akasha. So when we read the prayer and we do the right and necessary preparation to be able to step into this sacred field of Akasha, when we do that, we are creating a vibrational affinity between the prayer and ourselves. And when that happens, boom, there is the click. And that click is that we are now, it's as if we enter an elevator and we start reading the prayer, and by the time we finish, we are on the penthouse, the doors open, and there we are in the field of Akasha, where we can enter that field to receive guidance and information, where we can receive healing from the masters. It's just a field of unlimited potential. Right. So that is how the Akashic Record came. Many people that are significant psychics, they have these true psychic abilities, like Edgar Cayce, Alice Bailey, Nostradamus, and many others. They did not need this prayer. I don't have any special talents like that. In fact, I really don't want them, because to me, simple is simple, and spirit is simple. And here we are. Spirit has given us this beautiful prayer, this beautiful system that is simple, and I can just walk into this field with the sacred prayer and be connected at any time without having to have any special psychic abilities or any of that. The only requirement, Lisa, is to have an open heart. If we have an open heart and we follow a formula, which is right there in my book, I teach it in my classes, etc., then, it is inevitable that you enter into the field of Akasha. And
it is a feeling vibration, isn't it? There's an energy that happens, would you say, when you walk through that?
Yeah, because of that vibrational affinity that I'm talking about. It's as if there are unlimited, unseen fields that are present in our lives. Like we cannot see electricity, but we flip the switch and there it is, present. Right. Just like that, there are unlimited fields that when we learn how to fine-tune our senses, bring our senses to a higher degree of its own potential, then we can start tapping or connecting into these vast fields of potential. And the Akashic Records is the vehicle that can elevate our vibration by connecting to this light language, sacred geometry vibration that is contained within the prayer, and then we are ready to start connecting or tapping into these other fields that have unlimited potential.
Now, when we tap into that field and we have a connection with our teachers, our guides, can you talk a little bit about who the masters the teachers and the loved ones are that come through with the Akashic record?
Yes, definitely. The masters and teachers are, many of them have been individuals that have walked on this earth, they have earned their complete and full ascension, and then they are on this field. Many people, probably your radio listeners, know about the Great White Brotherhood. You know, they have been around for many years, and the Great White Brotherhoods are these saints and sages that have ascended to these levels of consciousness, this field, and many of them become masters of Akasha. But also the masters of the Akashic records are souls that are so pure that have never taken embodiment. So then we are tapping into this field of pure love. That is the essence. Akasha is the field of pure love. So the masters and the teachers, so they're all masters. When we walk into this Library of Congress, we can ask for a specific information. So if you have interest in a specific type of healing, Reiki, Shen, or anything like that, you can ask the masters to bring you the masters that have the know-how for you to learn more about this particular field of interest. Now, that master becomes your teacher. So therefore, the masters and teachers. Now, the loved ones, through the masters in their infinite wisdom, know that many people that live on this earth have troubled relationships. And you have troubled relationships with your parents, your grandparents, other people, whatever. So some of them die, and now these are souls that get trapped in the astral plane, and they are not going to be able to make their full transition through the astral plane until they have a resolution with the individual that is alive. So it could be that you have problems with someone that has passed on, or the person that has passed on has problems with you. Now, these are the loved ones. So when the vibration is just right, when you are ready and when they are ready, through the Akashic records, the masters bring them out of wherever they are, the loved one, to be in front of you, to be in your presence, for you to have dialogue with that individual, with that soul, and bring resolution to the conflict or the troubled relationship that you had. So, I mean, what this is about is not bringing or have karmic patterns being transferred from one life to the next, and we all know that happens frequently with families, friends, etc. So this is a beautiful dispensation with the loved ones.
Now, is this something that we are aware of when we are going through this in our awakened state or our dream state, or is it a very subtle state that comes in more of a meditative state when we come before our loved ones, when there's that resolution, that closure, that healing that happens? Is that something that happens more in a subconscious state or a sleep state or an awakened state?
No. It is, the Akashic Records is conscious work. Is just that. I mean, just conscious work. Because only out of being conscious about what we're doing, we can make significant changes.
Right.
The Akashic Records, I teach three aspects, of many aspects, but three very important aspects: the view, meditation, and action. So when you open your Akashic Records and you're in the presence of the masters, then you dialogue. You have questions that you bring to the masters about anything, And then they will give you the information that you need, and that information is what becomes the view. So you are like the witness that is now looking at from a non-attached, loving, kind space. You're looking at yourself, receiving this information. Now, once you have that information, then you take it to meditation. Meditation is the laboratory of the self, and there are many different styles of meditation, but in this case, what we want is to review within meditation what we have received in the view. So when we bring the view and meditation together, then we end up with a formula for action, and that is what it's all about, because otherwise it stays in meditation or in the view, and if we don't give it action on the physical plane, we're wasting our time, and no change will be taking place.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. So what I was curious about was, I know that I've had I've had experiences in my dream state with loved ones who have passed, and I have had dialogue with them, and I've had a lot of clearing and closure with loved ones in my dream state. So my interest in that was it something that we consciously bring in and we say, okay, John,